Hey guys, what's up? It's Kay, and today we'll be looking at the robot Damashii Gundam XX from the anime, well, Gundam X. Okay, so I guess this was a figure, I think released as far as I know, or as far as I remember, it was released back in 2013, and in my opinion, during that year, this was the best regular release that they released that they released during that year. So this guy is very awesome. Okay, and it's gonna look better if you have the G Falcon, which was an exclusive release, and it's not that pricey up to now, so you can always buy it anytime, which is good, which is really good now. And the Double X is one of those regular releases that's really cheap up to now. So let's go ahead and start with the accessories first. Let's start with the boring ones first, so I'll move this aside and let's move on to the weapons and accessories. All right. Okay, so for accessories, you get a few of them. Well, not too sure if you consider this a lot, but he pretty much just comes with the satellite cannon and the beam rifle. Oh, and the shield as well. Now, just a disclaimer though, I misplaced the. I'm not too sure why they included it, but you get, well, you see how there's two beam saber hands here. You get another pair of beam saber hands. Now I'm not too sure why they did that. I honestly don't know, because they look so much identical to each other, so I'm not too sure if it's the angles that's gonna make it different, but it looks pretty close. But anyway, so you get a pair of open palm hands, which I'm still trying to find. There's too much hands on my toolbox right now, so I got lazy on finding it. I wanted to continue with the review since I have the mood to do it. So you get one pair of open palm hands, two pairs of beam saber holding hands, and two pairs of trigger finger hands, two fins for the legs, two fins for the arms or the forearms, the shield, the rifle, the left and the right satellite cannon slash wings, and then the lock-on thingies for the I guess the locking system for you to place it on the satellite cannons. So you get two of those. One second. The wife's calling. Okay, so going back, so this is the basic weapons that the Double X comes with, but I kind of wish it comes with all of its weapons, because if some of you know, the old 1:100 high grade kit comes with the G hammer, which is kind of like the Gundam hammer, and then it also had a beam javelin also, and it comes with the whatchamacallit, the breast launcher. So the breast launcher is kind of like its rocket launcher, so I kind of wish it had that, but that's just my some of the few gripes that I have. But this alone is just perfect, you know. But I kind of wish they added that just for a bonus, or at least include those bonus items or bonus weapons for the G Falcon, so that your weapons for the Double X would be complete. But that's just me. Alright, so let's go ahead and proceed with the articulation. Alright, so let's go ahead and review the figure. So again, guys, just like most of my figures, this figure is panel lined, flat coated, and I also added some decals there. And on this one, I repainted the yellow parts from piss yellow to orange. So as you can see, this one is orange, this one is orange, this one is orange, and I added some gold paint apps there for extra detail. I used purple panel lines on the white parts, as you can see there. Where else? There on the front skirts, and then on those light gray parts, like on this one on the front skirt, I used gray panel lines there. On the knee here, I added some gray lining there, and then you won't be able to see it because it's very subtle, but I added some brown, dark brown panel lines with a mix of red on the black parts, just give it more extra detail there. So purple lining there. All right, so again, let's go ahead and proceed with the figure. Okay, so the head is on a ball joint, on a ball peg, so it can move pretty high up, which is really nice for flight poses. So it can wiggle around and do 360. There we go. If you move, if you're a little bit careful, you can do a 360 and then it wiggles around there. It can look down a little bit. Yeah, it can do a nice face down pose, so that's pretty cool. And I think you can also do the chicken a little bit, and then the arms can go 360, but it's not gonna be able to do that once the backpack is attached. And then the arm can move up, I think that high. Yeah, just that high, which is not so bad. It doesn't have to move up that much. What else? And then the arm has a 180 bend, well, more than 90, but it's almost 180. The arm is on a double ball joint. Oh, it keeps on popping off. Okay, so it's on a double ball joint, so it's gonna wiggle around and rotate. And then these shoulder armor can also move up and down. And what else? It can move in and out like so. The body is on a ball joint, but it will not go 360, so it can move to the right like that far. It can move to the left that far. And then I guess it has a little bit of ab crunch going on. You see how it collapses it inside, which is I guess that's okay, but well, to some it's okay. To me, that's a bad ab crunch. Okay, now the skirts is on a it fall off again. Okay, all right, so for the skirts, it's on a ball joint, so it's just gonna wiggle around, and it has a tendency to pop off because it's just on a ball joint, so it has its limitations. The front skirts here are also on a ball joint, so it's gonna move up that far, and then the leg can kick forward that high, and it has a thigh swivel. Oop, it fall off again. Okay, and it has a 180 bend there. Oh, god damn it. Oh, it fall off again. Oh my goodness. Oh my lord. All right, so yeah, I also forgot that it has a bicep swivel also here. All right, so moving on to the leg, so it has a thigh swivel, 180 bend, and then for the foot, you can point its toes, but well, it has an ankle rocker, but then these things get on the way, so you won't be able to mess with it that much. And one thing I also didn't like about this is that it doesn't have a foot articulation, so it's not gonna move, you can't rotate it or anything like that. But it has an ankle rocker, but it's pretty much useless since this thing is hindering things. What else did I miss on? So I guess, yeah, that's pretty much it. And yep, this one can move up and down, and so I guess, well, no, so the leg won't move back. I'm tired. Okay, so it keeps on popping off, and that's one of my gripes about this figure. Okay, all right, so that's pretty much the articulation of the figure. So yep, I think I reviewed everything here, so let's go ahead and attach all its parts. Okay, so now I completely forgot now. So for the satellite cannons, so I forgot how these things work. So for this one, right now it's in its compact form. So if you wanted to do the satellite, activate the satellite cannons, all you have to do is open this up and then flip this down. So all the panels are open now, and then just rotate this, move it forward, and then extend it. So that's how it works, and we'll be doing that later. Okay, so let's go ahead and attach the parts. Oh, and I also forgot again. So for you to be able to do the satellite cannon pose, I guess, you have to remove this and then switch it with those things that I showed you guys earlier. So switch it with these ones. Focus, so it's on a ball joint, so just push that down and you see how it's there already. So we're gonna go ahead and attach all the parts, and with the satellite cannons activated. The fuck? There you go. Lock it in place. And let's attach the next one. Am I doing this right? I think so. Oh yeah. There you go. Okay. Let's see, I think I need a stand. Okay. Let's move this back. Alright, so once everything is all attached, you get something like this. And you know, you have to admit, that looks pretty awesome with all those gold parts showing off. And that's pretty nice. Now, alright, so I guess let's go ahead and talk about my verdict here, or I guess my opinion on this figure. Alright, so overall, like, the figure has great aesthetics. It comes with good accessories. I mean, come on, the you have the satellite cannons, you have all those those gold fins. The shield looks great, the rifle is great, and you have some awesome looking beam sabers that looks like pine trees. Zoom in. Yeah, that's a pine tree. Okay, anyway, it's a good figure, but my gripes about this figure is, well, let's start with the beam saber hilts. Now on the skirt, you see how, let's remove this because it can be removed. Give me 1 second. All right, So you see how it's small here. Okay, let's zoom in on this. Come on, come on, come on. Alright, you see how small that is? And then once you have the beam saber, you actually have two different beam saber hilts. So this one comes with the skirt, or this one specifically you need to attach this on the skirt, and then you have this one. So this is the one where you will stick the beam sabers or the beams onto the handle. Now look at that, that's completely off. I'm not too sure why they did that. So they could have just, used this, attach it on the skirt, and you don't have, two different things going on. Like you don't, like the RX-782 figure doesn't have to have like two beam saber hilts for you to be able to achieve this. I mean, it's not like, I'm not too sure how to explain it, but this is just weird. And then next, you saw it earlier, parts keeps on popping off, which is really annoying. And what else? This open palm hand, I mean, if you look at it right now, I mean, it looks okay. I mean, let's focus on it. I'm gonna let you know what I think about this. Let's see, come on. Okay, so you have this open palm hand from the Double X, which looks okay. I mean, but it doesn't look dynamic enough. You know what I mean? I mean, come on, look at the Zeta's open palm hands, and let me know what looks more dynamic to you. Let's compare the two here. Okay, 1 second. All right, so you can totally see how different and how dynamic looking the Zeta's open palm hand compared to the lazy open palm hand of the Double X. So you won't get to achieve like convincing poses with these kind of hand. So it's more of a relaxed hand rather than it being dynamic like this one. So this is another problem that I have, or my gripe on the Double X. And then so parts keeps falling off, beam saber hilts looks weird, and the open palm hand looks weird to me. And then what else do we have here? And then we have this one. Now if you think at first, yeah, it looks great, but then this is just my personal opinion on this, but the Double X has too much stuff going on. And if you know me, I don't normally go for designs like this, like the Strike Freedom or the Wing Zero custom, and what else, the Freedom Gundam, things that has the Destiny Gundam, things that has just the units that have too much stuff going on. And this may look impressive to everyone, which I kind of get because I also like this look, but then the figure becomes too fidgety if you put it on this mode. Like you have to move some stuff around and it looks awkward. And the reason for this, you don't really get to do a convincing satellite cannon pose, or at least make it look more dynamic, because the legs can't really move back down, or you can't move the legs back, which is a little bit disappointing for me. Again, that's just my opinion on it. You don't really have to. If you disagree with me, that's fine. I completely get it. But I'm more into dynamic posing, and to me, with this kind of pose, it doesn't look convincing for me. I mean, it's just okay. I'll just do a satellite cannon pose, which everyone knows. But then it doesn't look believable. Like it looks stiff. Are you noticing it as well? It looks stiff. And it's not convincing. Like it doesn't look dynamic to me. So earlier I thought I'd give this figure a 5, and now that I've analyzed what's going on with this figure, I'd give this guy a 3.5. 3.5 because of those parts popping off, and I don't really like things popping off on my figure. I can tighten it, but I might mess up the transformation gimmick there, so I'm not gonna tighten it. But then, since I'm a big fan of the unit, I'd still give it, I guess, a 5 or a 4.5 for the overall aesthetics. But if we're just gonna focus on how good the figure is, I'm just gonna give it a 3.5. I mean, it looks good, it's okay, but it has its issues, and I'm not really liking those issues at all, not one bit. Especially the hands. I'm not able to use this. Reason for this open palm hand, it doesn't look dynamic enough for me. So yep, 3.5. That's my review on the Gundam Double X. Hope you liked it as much as, well, I didn't like the review, but I hope this helps you decide if you're gonna get this or not. I'd still recommend this if you're a fan of the unit. I'm a big fan of the unit. I love the series. I'm planning on getting the Versago and the G Falcon soon. So I hope to see you guys on my next review.